tried everything now. I have tried the Pomodoro technique. I have tried journaling daily. I have tried even writing that matrix. What is it called? Eisenhower Matrix, the important, not important, urgent, not urgent thing, and the age old thing, a to do list. But I failed in all of them. You name it, and I have tried it. There is no productivity system that I have not really tried. Like I said in the intro, I have tried Pomodoro. I work for 20 minutes, take a break of 10 minutes, restart myself, and reiterate on it, work for again 20, 10, and all those things. Didn't work. Failed miserably. I tried with the matrix thing where you write urgent, not urgent, important, not important, and I'm like, okay, it might get you to the results, but it doesn't really work for me. Will you keep on drawing the matrix every time or every day, let's say, just to know what's important, not important, and how which one should be prioritized where? Didn't work for me. I don't know for whom does it work. I tried, what was the other thing that I tried the to-do list. But when I start writing to-do list, I fill the pages. I don't just fill the top 3 or 4. Everything is important for me, and I'm such an idiot. So I have tried almost all of different productivity techniques and systems that should technically make a normal person productive enough to understand few things, but I don't know, I might be special enough to not even understand any of it, and been failing almost for 4.5 5 years now. So basically, I have been working in an IT industry for almost 5 years now, and from those last 5 years, I'm trying to be a productive. I'm trying to enhance or even stabilize my workflow so that I can work properly. But every time I have tried something, I have failed in 4K quality. So I have been really obsessed for correcting my workflow almost for 4.5 5 years now, due to which I have checked multiple YouTube videos, Instagram reels, explaining you how a productivity system should look, how should you really focus, what should be the way, and I have tried almost everything now. I have used multiple timers, I have tried to list down, I have tried to journal, I have tried to calm myself to do a job, but everything failed for me. And that's when I really realized productivity means not setting up a deadline but moving with the flow and the work. Let me explain it to you. So there are two particular productivity systems, so-called systems, that really work for me, which really helped me understand what I just said. So first one is the flow state. A flow state is something where a person who is working on something is so engraved and so focused on it that he doesn't know what's happening in his surrounding, or is not really aware or doesn't want to be really aware of it. This has happened many times, but I started observing when I got to know that there is something like this. So when I used to sit to write a code or to work on a video, it used to take me 2 to 3 hours. And in those 2 3 hours, I used to be very focused. And these used to come in bits and chunks. It's not like every time it used to be 2 to 3 hours, but it used to come in bits and chunks where I used to be completely focused and complete a set of work which took me almost a week for other tasks in just 1 or 2 hours. I hope you get the example. So when I did a bit of research on this whole flow state, I got to know few things which I would like to share with you. Basically, neuroscience calls it transient hypofrontality. I'm not sure. I'll add the word in the comments or the description. You guys can check. But it's basically your prefrontal cortex of the brain, that part that worries and self monitors, temporarily shuts off. So you're least bothered of someone judging you or what's happening near you, and you're laser focused on something that you're working on. How does it really differ with the existing techniques that I talked about? Let's compare it with Pomodoro. So in Pomodoro, what we are effectively doing is we are creating a 20 to 25 minutes of focus time and take a break so that our mind can relax. But what it's really doing is it's breaking your flow. So if I am working on something big, let's say and editing a huge video, if it's 25 minutes, I tell myself it's relaxing time, but somewhere back in the mind I am like, what should I do next in the edit? It's really hampering that flow is what I am feeling. It's not really letting you be productive but break your productivity, because getting those 5 minutes as a free time is not the issue. That 5 minutes turning into 30 minutes is the issue, because you were in the flow states for the first 20 25 minutes. You get into a flow state, but it's broken up so easily with an alarm or a timer that you are so busy getting back there. And that's where Pomodoro really didn't work for me. But for me, it's not just the flow state that worked, it was the time boxing system that many people have talked about. And this is the system which was really effective for me, that even people were recognizing. So basically, in short, time boxing is a technique where you just list top 5 things to do in a day. Keep in mind, you have to be reasonable enough to list down 5 top things, cut it to 3, and put those 3 into a proper time, like a calendar, that like 1 hour or a 2 hour slot for only this work. So technically what you're doing is you're just focusing on few tasks, completing it properly, and being satisfied enough that I have a proper work done. This is when I realized just being in the flow state doesn't really help you. A flow state without a proper boxing is you waiting to get into that space and not really creating one. Is when I understood I need to set up a flow state time. So I blocks those 3 hours to do a specific task, and I do it at its best, so that even when I get into the flow state, I try to complete it then and there itself, and I don't break it enough. So that's where time boxing really helps you set up a border or a boxed time, that at this particular time I have to only work on this and not really care about other work or other things. And that's what really helped me. Again, if we compare it with any other technique that I mentioned, like let's take the example of Eisenhower Matrix. Eisenhower Matrix really helps you prioritize the tasks. It doesn't tell you when to do it, how to do it, and how effectively will you do it. It's a good technique, I would say. It's not a bad technique in itself. It's a good technique to know where the priority lies to which task. But I feel it a bit unrealistic enough to be used continuously in a day-to-day life, because there are external factors affecting your time. There are external factors affecting your importance and urgency for that task. So it's a good way to prioritize tasks, not a good way to be productive, is what I feel. And these are things that I have gathered from my own experience. These are not something researched and so-called came up with the numbers. These work really well with me. It's the last 5 years of observation on myself that has brought me to this conclusion, that it's good to have a flow state with proper boundaries, so that you can complete a set of work in a day and be satisfied enough that you have completed and have done some work, rather than being so adamant enough that fixing yourself the timer or a matrix or a list or any other way of boxing it so strictly. You're boxing yourself so strictly that you're not able to know if this really works. And you should be really clear enough that there are factors affecting your to-do list and other things, and keep that in mind and be productive. So as a conclusion, all that I could say is being productive is not about strictly confining yourself in a certain block or a certain work or a certain list, but being flexible enough to know how much time I can work and at what time should it that be, rather than being so strict enough that you follow the timer and not your work, is what I could gain out of it. So this was a small rant and experience based sharing of the productivity and what I have learned about productivity and its systems and how it worked on me. It might be different for you, but please do give a try if you want to be really productive. And do you want me to try any other techniques? Do list them down in the comments, and I'm surely trying them, because I'm still not perfect in my productive workflow. I think I still waste a lot of time. So let me know your thoughts on what just we discussed on, and what do you guys think? Do you have any techniques? And let's catch up in the next video.